Alright, so welcome back to my channel, you guys. I do have a different type of video today because when I did my Kick It W body foundation video, I realized a lot of people do suffer with a darker pigmentation on their neck, on their face, or on their chest. It's very, very common. Even for me, you guys, I do have a darker pigmented neck, and it makes it a lot harder when it comes to makeup. So I feel like when it comes to matching your foundation, you already worry about like undertones and whatnot, but now you have to go ahead and worry about like what body you should match it to. Like, it's just a lot of issues out there, so I do understand. I will break it down for you guys a little bit later on, and once you go ahead and see what I personally do for myself, then go ahead and keep on watching. All right, so when it comes to this topic, you guys, I know how difficult it is because when it comes to matching your foundation in general, there's undertones and all that different stuff out there, which is difficult in itself. But when you have to tell somebody like you need to match it to a certain part of your body, that is just a whole different ballgame, you guys, because you have your chest, you have your neck, and you do have your face. And some people's neck is a little bit lighter or darker, or their face is darker, or their face is lighter, or their chest is darker, or their chest is lighter. It's just really, really difficult, you guys, and I completely understand. And when it comes to matching to the body, I do prefer not to match the face, just because when it comes to the face, you guys, we're always exfoliating or washing our face and doing all that good stuff, so it does tend to be lighter. I do know some people out there do have a darker face and darker neck, but most people I know usually tend to have a lighter face just because of that. So I do want to mention, when it comes to matching your body, you guys, I don't match my face. But yeah, so it comes to the neck and the chest area. Now, it just depends on how you're set up. I know some people have a darker neck, a lighter neck, or a darker chest or a lighter chest. It just depends. But when it comes to the chest area, I find it to be a little bit less work, a little bit less troubling, because it's a bigger area, so you want to go ahead and match to the chest area. If you want to match your neck, you guys, that's totally fine, because when it comes to the winter time, a little secret that I do is I go ahead and wear a turtleneck or a scarf, so I cover up my neck so you can't really tell what is going on down there. So it does make it a little bit more difficult to hide in the summertime, of course, but I will show you guys how I make everything match. So the first thing I do is I look at my chest area, just because that's just what I want to match it to. It's a bigger area and everything like that, and it just makes everything come a little bit more together, and it's a lot less work. Just trust me, if you match your chest area, really, really simple. So moving on to the three foundations I love to use. I have the Juvia's Place foundation in the shade Malawi, or the Dior Backstage Face and Body foundation in the shade 6W. And the last one I do have is a Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage foundation in the shade 355 Coconut. So these three foundations are my favorite because they match my chest so nicely, you guys. And let me go ahead and swatch it on my chest and show you guys exactly what I mean. Especially when I do go shopping, it's very easy to swatch it on my chest, just because I know for sure it will match me later on. So let me go ahead. So this first shade is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage foundation, and this is it on my chest right here. I do hope you guys can see it. It is a little bit dark, but at the same time, the more I do blend it in, the more it does match. But I just want to show you guys what it looks like on my skin. And the next one is a Dior Backstage foundation. Now, I do know when I swatch it, it does look a little bit darker, but honestly, you guys, I kind of like that, because once I conceal my under eyes and highlight and all that good stuff, everything just blends a little bit better. So I still do like this shade. And the last one I do have is a Juvia's Place foundation in the shade Malawi, which I'll put right here. And I feel like this shade, for some reason, it just looks like it blends into the skin really nicely. Like, once I swatch it on my chest in Ulta, I just knew I had to go ahead and pick it up, because it just blends really nicely into the skin. So I went ahead and blended all three into my skin, and once it's blended, y'all can't even tell me that you really see it on my skin. If you do, please just pretend, but honestly, in person, I don't see it on my skin. So this is why I love these three foundations. They just blend right in. It's really easy to work with, nothing crazy at all. So for my face today, I'm gonna go ahead and use a Dior Backstage foundation. I've been loving this because it's a very natural foundation on the skin, and once it's on, you guys, it looks like I don't have any foundation on my skin. It just blends right in. So let me go ahead and dot it all over, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So with everything being said, you can go ahead and match your chest, your neck, whatever you like. Honestly, you guys, I know everyone's situation is a little bit different, but for me, I do match to my chest because it's a lot less work. So let me go ahead and blend this in using my Sonia Kashuk sponge. And do you guys see what I mean? Like, literally, once it's blended, you can't even tell that I have foundation on my skin. It is just so beautiful, and you kind of see everything coming a little bit more together, and I will show you guys what I do to my neck a little later on. But this foundation, y'all, like, if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Oh, bitch. All right, so everything looks pretty even so far. I mean, everything just looks like it blends together and goes together. But my neck, of course, I know people tell me all the time, like, Chichi, it's not that dark. But for me, y'all, I just feel like it's a little bit darker, especially in these areas right here that y'all can't really see on camera. So what I do instead is I go in with a little bit of foundation. It's always really smart to go in with a little bit of foundation on your neck. I know some people don't like that feeling at all. But when it comes to everything coming together, I do prefer doing this just because it just makes everything look seamless. So I take a little bit of foundation onto the back of my hand, and I just dot a little bit onto my neck. You really don't need a lot with this. We're not trying to completely cover up the whole neck, but we just want the skin tone to be a little bit more evened out. So that's why I always go ahead and put it on my neck. So just taking my sponge, I'm just gonna blend it right into that. And I may go in with a little bit more, but I do like to start off with a little bit less product and then go in with a little bit more if I do need it. And just by doing this small step, you guys, everything looks a lot more evened out. Like, I didn't need a lot of product on my neck. Just a little bit goes a long way, and y'all can just tell, like, everything just looks a little bit better. So moving on with the next portion of this video, I do want to talk about concealer, because you can go ahead and match your foundation to your skin and everything like that, but if you use a light concealer or too much concealer, everything can look a little bit out of balance. So I do use my Cover FX ND2 concealer, and whenever I do highlight, you guys, I don't take it far out here. I just keep it in this region, just because when you bring it out here, you guys, it can change your whole foundation and your whole skin tone. So I just keep it in this region right here. And of course, to set my under eyes, I'm using my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Kunafa. And also, you guys, when it comes to your powder, make sure it is not too light for your skin tone, because everything could look really even and nice. But if you go ahead and use a lighter powder, it will look a little bit off. So just make sure you remember that. But for today's video, I'm just going to go ahead and press this right into my skin. I'm not baking today, you guys. I just don't feel like it. But I'm just going to press this powder into my skin. Alright, so this is my completed face with foundation, concealer, and powder on. Let me know what you guys think about it down below. Honestly, you guys, I just love this method because it's just easier for me. It's fast. It's not a lot of work, honestly, and everything looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do now is finish up the rest of my face off camera, you guys, and I will be back to go ahead and sum up this whole debate. But please let me know down below, do you prefer to match your neck or your chest? Please let me know down below, because I really do want to know you guys' thoughts on this whole entire thing. So yeah, with that being said, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so I'm back with my final thoughts on this whole topic, this whole discussion. And honestly, you guys, do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to go ahead and match your chest, do so, your neck and whatnot. It really doesn't matter. For me, like I said before, I do prefer my chest just because it's a little bit easier to work with, very fast and easy, but it really doesn't matter. And I know it's very hard for those out there who do have darker pigmentation on their face, on their neck, or on their chest. It's very difficult, and trust me, you guys, I am completely there with you. I know what it feels like. I know the struggle, but at the same time, you guys, we have makeup, which is really cool. We can go ahead and put it on our neck, put it on our chest, fix everything, and we're good to go. So with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know your thoughts down below, you guys. And I love you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you guys in my next one.